And I often think, I was born in the States, but I wonder what my life would have been like if I had been born in Uganda. And I think when I see Chibate, I see what my life could have been.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been, because I have this interest in photography as well. Maybe I would have grown up to become a local photographer like himself.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really almost like a window into an alternate universe of what my life could have been when we met. And he was really warm and inviting, and opened his doors and heart and family to me in ways, and trusted me with his work to try to preserve it and help preserve it. And I just feel bad that he wasn't around to see that finally come to fruition. But hopefully he's watching from above, and excited that this film is now going to be at the Prestige Cinema tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And Kaloleni Social Hall on Saturday as well. So, yeah, I'm thrilled, beyond thrilled that the film is resonating and spreading further and wide.
Yeah, I'm sure he's proud.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious to know, before his passing, did he know that this was the idea that it's going to be showcased? We want to showcase your work around the world, or maybe at that time, what had he known about his work and the project you had ongoing up to the time of his passing?
Initially, the project was to try to do some exhibitions and a book.
Mm-hmm.
So we've done the book. We've done some exhibitions. As you see in the documentary, his work was at the National Museum, which in a way brought the families together. And what's so funny is the easiest thing of the three, like the exhibition and documentary and a book. I've done the documentary now. I've had some exhibitions, but I haven't finished the book.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a third piece of the puzzle that I'm hoping to complete by early next year.
Mm-hmm. So he'd known about the book and the exhibition.
He knew about the book, but I never completed the book. But he didn't know about this. Nice for him.
Yeah, so he'd be absolutely
floored.
Stunned and floored. Ah, man, yeah, that's interesting to think about. So I'm really sure wherever he is, he's feeling some immense pride in you, and also what he'd been doing over the years. And that's the effect. And I'm sure even with the exhibition, it had an effect on the community in terms of, seeing the photos for the first time.
Yeah.
That must have been a very powerful encounter for the community. Yeah. The individuals seeing themselves after being photographed in the 50s, and this is the first time I'm seeing my wedding photo.
Exactly.
Yeah. So from those individual revelations and discoveries of the community, do you have a particular experience or a story from one of those community individuals that stood out to you, that also made you feel pride in what you'd accomplished up until that moment?
Yeah, there's so many stories that blew my mind, I can say, and opened my heart in ways that I'd never imagined. Some of them didn't make it into the film, but some that did make it into the film, like Johnson Makanga, who both of his parents had passed away when he was still a toddler, and he had never seen a photo of his parents before. And then at the exhibit for the first time, his father's brother, his uncle, recognized a picture of his father, and he called Johnson to come and see it. And he was, for the first time, seeing a photo of his father and mother was approximately his age.
Yeah.
And you can't underestimate that, how profound of an impact that is. Just like see an image of someone who's created you,
Yeah.
but you never knew what they looked like.
Yeah.
That was really profound. And if you get to see the film, you get to see this incredible joy on his face, the elation and the bewilderment that this is actually happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. That's there's no other way to describe it beyond powerful, because I'm putting myself in his shoes, and I just can't imagine not knowing how my dad or mom looked like, and then getting to see that for the first time in like 20 something years. Right. The emotions that run through. And speaking of emotions, I wanted to know how you were able to channel through that from, as a director for a documentary, with roles you've done in like works of fiction, like Smoke and, Dexter, Resurrection. With a written script, someone has in mind what the character should feel, what they should say, how they should react to other people. And that's what evokes emotion and what the actor should be portraying. And your documentary also evokes a lot of emotion from the way it's shot to, the story being told, even just the trailers, which I've seen. So how do you do that? How are you able to channel that emotional honesty and vulnerability for a documentary? Because documentary, you're documenting things that are happening in real life. You couldn't tell Johnson, hey, smile, be happy now, and whoever, how people are reacting to things. You can't control that, but you're still able to make people feel a certain emotion at a certain time in the documentary. If it's curiosity, if it's sadness, happiness. How do you translate that intention from your mind? You want this emotion, and this is how you're going to get it on the documentary.
Well, one of the great things about documentaries is sometimes you're fortunate to have these incredible subjects. And so half of the trouble, half the challenge is to just not edit them too much. Be present and listening and not interfere, not get in the way. So it's good to be sometimes a fly on the wall, as they say, and let the story tell itself. And this is one of those incredible stories that tells itself and weaves its way into your heart and mind and soul and spirit in the way that only a photograph and a memory can do. So I really don't feel like, I've just been really fortunate to have met Chibate, to met his family, to have met the photo subjects, and to give them a platform through this film. Yeah. I couldn't have scripted this. Because they did it themselves with their story.
I was curious about that, because people change the moment they see a camera. You see a camera and all of a sudden now you're in your best behavior. You usually cry, but here is Ntare ready to see your tears, and then all of a sudden now you just have to smile. Do you feel like having the active documentation as things unfolded influenced how people acted? Because you do want the authentic reaction, and that's what's caught on camera, but with the knowledge that people change when they see a camera, do you think that influenced them?
No, what was remarkable about Chibate and his family was that they gave you a clear view into their heart and mind. They didn't seem to be extremely guarded or sort of manipulating things. They were just the real deal. So that sort of requires a certain vulnerability, and an openness and a willingness. And I think that's what sort of resonated with audiences, because we are seeing what happens when a family, the patriarch in the family passes away, and the vacuum that's created, and the sort of infighting over the land and belongings, and which is universal.
Yeah.
It's something that we all affects all families. But we get to see how it plays out in this film and the impact. And the full circle moment that happens in this film, I think is what some people have been responding to as well, in terms of how just the power of photography and the power of the ability to sort of transcend time and space and, uplift through a single second of an image. Yeah.
So that's what, kind of overpowers. You're in that moment looking at the photograph. You're in that moment that it actually overshadows that there's a camera in your face. Is that what you're hinting at?
I believe a lot of the people were, and what's remarkable about Chibate's work is you feel like the camera wasn't even there, It's capturing something real that happened. It's not staged. It's not manipulated. It's not fabricated. It's the real thing, and it's and I think that just goes back to vulnerability. Some people are more guarded and not willing to share and open up.
Yeah.
But I felt like what a photograph can do is take you back in time without you being aware of that. Like you're just transported.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks to Chibate's work, where it was disarming and transported people. Drop your guard. And there's a sort of a love and appreciation and a nostalgia that you literally are transported. And I think that's part of what people have responded to in the film, that they are transported through time, through his work.
Yeah. Oh, that's quite, again, powerful. That you actually just get into the moment and forget there are cameras here. You're just your authentic self. Which brings me to, when you mention vulnerability, I'm curious to know how people's vulnerability and how they were feeling during these moments, how it affected you personally, how these discoveries affected both you and the project. Because I could imagine, for example, Johnson Makanga, right? He sees the photo of his parents and he's so happy and elated. Other scenarios where some people are like, okay, I saw my photo and I didn't want to be recorded, and so that kind of puts a setback in terms of how you edit or maybe stopping the production. So I just wanted to process were moments that actually affected people's lives, were actually highlighting people's lives and very vulnerable moments. How did that affect the film production-wise? And how did it also affect you as a person?
Yeah, I think it